There is currently severe flooding in the southern states. There is currently severe fires in the western states. In the southern state, Texas, there's too much water. In the western state, California, there's not enough water. Extremes. Extremes cause disasters. There's too much of something and not enough of something. This out of balance causes disaster. I want to learn a life lesson from an abstract manner. Let us learn a life message. Anytime in life when you have too much of something and not enough of something, there's going to be a disaster. There's an out of balance in your life. I'm using, the current situation, which is subject to change depending on what time you view this video, but there's a parable to be made. And that parable is when you live an extreme life, it is only a matter of time before disaster hits. And I want to be fair and honest that balance is a relative term based on who you are. Some people may look at my life and say I live an extreme life. Some people may look at your life and say you live an extreme life. Some people may look at your life and say you live a too conservative life. So extreme, sometimes you need to get extreme to change things. There's beauty in some extremes. So again, it's a relative term. But I am always mindful, even in my own journey, that I keep certain balances into place. I live out of my car. Do I get enough proper sleep? Do I get enough exercise? Eating healthy. I try to make sure that for me, for my custom life, because we're all on a unique journey, that I have a certain level of balance. Because when there is not enough balance, there's harm. There's disaster. When I lived a life out of balance with food, when all I would eat was fast food and junk food, there was an extreme. And then I got all the way extreme. I barely ate anything. And also I've sustained that now and I found a balance, for me, and it's a constant evolution. Same principle though that we can apply financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, even spiritually. The Bible says that, I believe it's in the book of Ecclesiastes. In the Old Testament, it said, be careful not to be, don't be too foolish. Don't be too bad. Why die before your time? At the same time, don't be too wise, don't be too good. Why destroy your life? Anyone who fears God will avoid these extremes. Don't be an extreme religious zealot and don't be an extreme non-believer. You got to find a healthy balance of good spiritual, good mental, good emotional, good financial, good every way. Life is about finding that balance. That's what basically Buddha, his whole journey of enlightenment, his bottom line message to the world was balance. That's where he found true enlightenment, balance, to summarize his journey. So you see, really, it's not a value of, you have to believe this religion or that. You know what I mean? It's a common theme for people that have lived a wise life. That you'll have to figure it out in your journey. You're going to have to hit some extremes because, again, everyone has their own specific way, their own unique journey. But the end path, the goal, the beauty lies in a level of balance. What it is for you, again, is individual. So it's not about judging one another. But I want to use this period in time where there's flooding in Texas and where there's extreme fires in California. We want to, help, be concerned, and pray for them. I know people, and that's why I came to mind. I know somebody currently out in California. I know somebody in Texas, and I'm, communicating with them via social media. And, my heart and my love goes out to them. But it made me it reminded me of this life lesson. And that life lesson is when there's extremes, when there's too much of something and not enough of something, disaster. Be mindful, man. Be mindful. It's a powerful life lesson. You hear it all the time, but balance. Find a balance. Is there too much of something in your life and not enough of something? Do you need to equalize something to sustain a healthy living? Too much risky investment? Not enough conservative? Out of balance, going to be failure. Too much of one thing in a diet, not enough another, out of balance. Too much of, smothering somebody, not enough of your own quality time, out of line balance. It's gonna disaster. You got to find a balance. Your own personal time, relationships. Risky investments, conservative investments. Everything. Healthy food. Maybe an occasional treat, but be careful. Balance. Again, there's never a wise thing to introduce unhealthy things to your life just to say balance, because, you don't want to do a little bit of something that'll kill you just to say you balanced it out. I'm just saying for you, whatever it is for you, take this time in history, what's going on, in the different states. And it's been going on since the beginning of time. So I'm not trying to say like it's apocalypse. I'm just trying to say that it's a life lesson reminder that when there is extreme conditions, disasters happen. And we need to live a life of balance, customized for your unique journey. Stay inspired.